Dear students, this is practical 2. In this you are going to study 3 protozoan specimens. You have studied already in your theory phylum Protozoa. They are first animals, they are unicellular or single celled animals, microscopic eukaryotes having membrane bound nucleus. Phylum Protozoa classified in based on locomotory structure. So the class Rhizopoda, where you will find the example is the amoeba, where you will find the pseudopodia or the locomotory structure. Then class Mastigophora, Euglena like animals. So they have long whip like flagellum functioning as a locomotory structure. Then class Ciliata, where you will see the cilia, small cytoplasmic process. You will find the tufts of cilia used as a locomotory structure. So you will find the example you have studied in your lower classes, paramecium. Then the studied plasmodium. It is a parasite and it belongs to the class Sporozoa. There are 4000 and odd parasitic species you will find in the class Sporozoa. So here you are going to study the 3 protozoa. I am going to show you how it looks under the microscope under 10x magnification. The first one you are going to study Eliphidium. So Eliphidium belongs to the phylum Protozoa, class Rhizopoda, order Foraminifera. Foraminifera means pore bearing organisms or animals. Foramen means pore. Then the genus Eliphidium. So it's a common marine protozoa. You will find this in seawater everywhere. There are many species of Eliphidium and they found in different depths from the shore region to the different depths of the ocean or the sea. So this is a dimorphic rhizopoda. It is belongs to the class the amoeba also. You will find amoeba. It is a unicellular microscopic protozoa 1 millimeter in diameter. It is pale yellow in color. It lives in marine water. So if you observe under microscope 10x, you will find like this. So this Eliphidium, the body is covered with the shelled protozoa. That means you know the shell of freshwater mussel. So or else the molluscan shells, snail. So similar type of this is microscopic, where you will find single cell. The single cell enclosed in a calcareous shell. So that's why it is called shelled protozoans. So this it is in Eliphidium there are many shells. Even though it is a single celled animal, the protoplasm or the cytoplasm flows in different shells. You can see how exactly the body. You will find it is there is a proloculum, the initial shell, the first formed shell. Then you will find how exactly the shells are arranged in the form of the biconvex shell arranged spirally around in several whorls. Sometimes you can see. So this depends on the age of this Eliphidium. So this shell is arranged. This is a somewhat V shape, or else you can see semicircular shell. This overlap one another, and they have number of pores. You can see they are perforated. There are many pores on that. So these through these pores the cytoplasm flows in between the shells. So this in diagram you will find like this. So this is the proloculum, that is the first form. Then you can see the how exactly the shells are arranged in a spherical manner you will find, and you can see the protoplasm flows outside also, and they form a network, and this is called reticulopodia. The reticulopodia, the cytoplasm, it is forming a pseudopodia. It is like a reticulum. That's why it is called reticulopodia. And this is used to trap the, you will find a bacterium is trapped here. So it is used to trap the prey, and it devours it or consumes it, or it degrades and absorbs it. So the mouth and contractile vacuoles, what you see in Paramecia, that is absent here. So it is a dimorphism. Elepharium usually you will find in two forms. The one is megalospheric and microspheric. So megalospheric, it is proloculum is big in size, a single large nucleus you will able to find. There is a single nucleus. This is a megalospheric form. And microspheric form, you will find the same thing. The proloculum is smaller and you will find many nuclei, multinucleated. Then there is a alteration of generation between these megalospheric and microspheric. Megalospheric reproduces sexually and give rise to microspheric form. So there is an alteration of generation. More about this you are going to study in the life cycle of Obelia, how exactly the alteration of generation or metagenesis it is called. So this Elepharium, in importance of this Elepharium, it is not now, it is living in this earth since last 450 million years, and you can see that whatever the fossilized Elepharium shells or the foraminiferous shells, they are what we see the main part of the limestone. Whatever the limestone and marble, they are all contributed by these the shells, the fossilized shells of these foraminiferans. So they are so common in the sea water, and if you take out sea water, you will find different types of these foraminiferans or shelled protozoans. So they form a sediment in the bottom. Once they die, they sink into the bottom because they are in a shelled one, they have some weight and they sink into the bottom and they form a layer. That is what the sediments. This calcium carbonate will accumulate and they contribute the limestone, you can see. So this is the importance of Elepharium. The next one is the Noctiluca. Can you see here the sea shore where you can see the waves are blue in color. This is the not anywhere, it is near our own coast in near Surathkal. This is the in September 2018 somebody photographed this one. So the sea looked like this in the Surathkal beach. So what is this? So it is very interesting. This is a bioluminescent protozoa, Noctiluca. Noctiluca, commonly called sea sparkle, because the millions of Noctiluca, they come to the surface and they form they can they emit light. So the blue light, or they illuminate light, so that's they have a phosphorescent substance, or else you can see there is a luminescent protein called luciferin. So this luciferin oxidized and produces light like this. So this millions together and form they sparkle like this. It's so beautiful, and you should see whenever in the night time this glowing Noctiluca. So even though it is microscopic, millions together they glow like this and they form a tide or wave, blue color, the illuminating waves like this, you can see. This is this belongs to the class Mastigophora and the order Dinoflagellata. Dino means two. They have two flagella. So this is the one you can see, the long one, and another one is a small one. And under microscope it looks like this, you can see. So this it is a floating swarms of millions of these cause a glowing of the sea. It has a flattened spherical shape and is covered with the cuticle. The body is covered with the cuticle, and typical Mastigophora character. Dinoflagellata means they have two flagella. So the one is long, and it is in this slide, it is inside you will find that it is the long one, and then there is a a very tiny one, a small one you will find. There are two flagella. So Noctiluca has a gas bags that enables to float under the surface of water. How it cannot able to swim. It is a microscopic tiny protozoa. So they have the gas filled the vacuoles. So that's why they can able to float on just on the surface of the water. The two flagella, one is exceptionally thick, this is that called a tentacle, and large, and it is visible. The other is very insignificant, very tiny, very tiny. You will find this. So this is the diagram. You will find there is the nucleus and surrounded by thick cytoplasm, and this cytoplasm forms strands. So this is going to form the endoplasm, and in between this strand you will find the ectoplasm. The outer, the cell is covered by a cuticle. So there is this unlike to the rhizopoda, you will find there is a cytostomes, a small mouth like structure, at it leading to cytopharynx. Cytostome, taking the food through the cytostome, it's a mouth like structure, and in the cytopharynx they get the food vacuoles are formed and released to the endoplasm. So this is how the Noctiluca, if you have a lens, you take the water, it looks like this, you can see. But this is the what we are you are seeing in the lab. It is the permanent slide. It is we stained with the the hematoxylin. So that's why it is this color. This color is because of the stain what we use to. So this you will find this is the two tentacles, or sorry, the flagella what you see here. So this a buoyant balloon shaped cell and possess oral pouch. This is the cytostome, and a short flagellum and a tentacle. That's what. So cytoplasm consists minute keratinoid globules around the periphery of the cell. They can cause spectacular bioluminescence. I said already, bioluminescent protein luciferin. So you will find in all waters, temperate, subtropical, tropical, and coastal water, this is the marine form, and it is heterotrophic. It ingests ready-made organic matter that is found in the environment. So buoyancy achieved by accumulation of lighter ions in the cytoplasm. So because it blooms, it aggregate in a dense aggregation, attracts many predators such as the copepods of arthropoda. This feed on diatoms and preys on copepod eggs. So even arthropoda eggs it consumes. The function of bioluminescence is not known. The last specimen is Balantidium. This is a parasite found in the intestine of vertebrates, Balantidium coli. So it is a paramecium like animal. It is a ciliata, class Ciliphora or ciliata, order Spirotricha. Here cilia, the arrangement of cilia based on that the order, you will find the Spirotricha means in the spiral, the track, you will find the ciliary tracks, spiral tracks you will find. So this is how exactly the cilia, we cannot able to identify the cilia under this what we use the compound microscope, and this is a trophozoite stage, and this is the cyst stage, how it looks. Balantidium, it is a largest protozoa, a parasite. Even you will find in the vertebrates and even in the human. This is in the frog, pig, monkey, and many vertebrates. It occurs in the large intestine of man. Sometimes it may cause a problem or the disease called balantidiasis. Balantidium, the two forms you can see, trophozoite stage. It is an active feeding stage. Tropho means feeding. This is the one. It is having a somewhat oval shape in that. It is about 50 to 130 millimeter long and 20 to 70 millimeter wide, covered with the longitudinal rows of cilia. That's what I said. That's why it's called Spirotricha. Trophozoite has the two nuclei. The one is kidney shape. you will find the kidney shaped nucleus, and another is the smaller one, micronucleus. Macronucleus and micronucleus. Contractile vacuoles and food vacuoles are present in the endoplasm. So this is food vacuoles, and food vacuoles you will find, and the contractile vacuoles are present. So this is the diagram of Balantidium. There is a there is a mouth, the cytostome, you will able to see. Through that the food is taken inside and it is going to the cytopharynx, and it get released into the endoplasm or the cytoplasm in the form of food vacuoles. So this is how the food is transported to the cytoplasm. And there is the undigested food will be thrown outside through a opening called cytophyte. Macronucleus involved in the regulating the function of the organs, whereas micronucleus for the reproduction. So the reproduction, there are two types: asexual by binary fission and sexual reproduction through conjugation. So this in human, it usually present in the lumen of the large intestine, the colon. That's why it's called Balantidium coli, present in the colon, and appendix of the human. The cyst is the infective stage. So it the cyst formation, you have seen the cyst. So this is the infective forum. So the Balantidium coli, as its name indicates, parasitic ciliate affects the colon of man and may cause it may be so many times, it may be it is present in the colon, not disturbing the host. Sometimes their aggregation may, serious dysentery may occur, and this is called Balantidiasis. So this you can see the trophozoites, they undergo cystic form. This is transported outside in the stool or else in the feces, and if the food and the drinks get contaminated by this cyst, it is then the cyst is going to develop into the trophozoite and get it establish itself in the colon of the man. This is how the man is getting the infection of Balantidium coli. So this is about 3 protozoa what you have in your practical syllabus. Thank you.